If you're going to live a life of excellence, you can't procrastinate. Procrastination will always minimize your vision. It will drain the potential out of you. And when you procrastinate, it will always be the assassination of your greatest destination. When you procrastinate, you don't get the final say over your life. Instead, people and circumstances, they define them for you. I begin to understand that when you are diligent, you find a way to beat the odds and win. There are many alternative versions of who you are, who you're created to be. But the best version of you will be in the form of diligence. Diligence is seeing a need and taking smart, quick, and massive action to achieve a result with excellence. Diligence. Diligence is about being the best that you can be in the moment versus the best that you can create. And I'll never forget that moment. I made the USA track and field team. And I was 14 days away from the biggest moment of my life. And I suffered a hamstring injury. And the USA track and field, they said, you know what? It's impossible for you to come back. You should give up your spot to someone who's more physically able. But I knew I did not travel thousands of miles away from home. I knew I did not train 11 years of my life to say better luck next year. My passion to wear that USA emblem across my chest was greater than the excuses, complaints, and guilt that most people give into. So all the energy that I put into making the USA team, I put into a rehab program. I was stretching, I was icing, I was seeing a physiologist, I was working on myself every single moment. And come race day, I wasn't 100%, but I was diligent. And because of that, I said I was gonna make the best out of this situation. And there were 4 rounds that I needed to conquer that week. And I made it through every single round. And in that final 4th round, I catapulted that finish line and earned the title as the 6th fastest man in the world. I got my butt whooped by Usain Bolt. But I did the things that I was responsible for. See, you don't have to be the smartest person to be diligent. But you do have to be someone who is willing to exhaust all of their talent, skills, ability, and energy to achieve excellence. Proverbs 21:5, it says that the plans of the diligent lead to an advantage, but those who are hasty fall short of poverty. And that word hasty means to act with insufficient consideration. See, but when you are diligent, you find a way to just put yourself at an advantage, even though you might be at a disadvantage. Steph Curry, he was somebody in the NBA that many people said, yo, you're not going to be a good fit. But he's got 3 NBA championship titles and 2 MVPs. Every day there's someone out there who's doing something that they are unqualified to do because they saw that there was room at the table because the qualified didn't show up. And maybe you're thinking, man, I'm unqualified. I'm too old. The marriage is going bad. I feel like a failure. I lost my job. COVID-19. But I'm telling you that 2020 will not win if you are diligent. Mike Tyson, he became the youngest heavyweight champion of the world at the age of 20 in 1986. 15 years ago, he fought his last match. And now Mike Tyson is 54 years old, and this dude is stepping back into the ring. This dude is stepping back into the ring, the most vicious, the most ferocious fighter that we ever seen. And I want to ask everybody a question here. Would you step into a boxing match with this dude? Oh, everybody say no because everybody know it wouldn't be a fight. You'd just be getting knocked out. See, my mama used to say, you ain't never too old to get your butt whooped, boy. See, the plans of the diligent, it's the spirit that is never too late until it's too late. What if you truly live life like tomorrow didn't exist? How different would your life be? The world was shocked when Chadwick Boseman passed away at the young age of 43, Wakanda forever. And everybody was texting about it. Everybody was posting about it on social media, including my friend Faith. And Faith said, I'm going to miss this actor. But little did Faith know that she was going to be missed too. Because Faith died the next day. And the tragedy of life is not death itself, because we know that's inevitable, right? But the tragedy of life is dying without having lived your dream. Without having lived your dream. What story do you want to be remembered for when you're gone? And I'm sure nobody in this room wants on their tombstone, he chickened out. But you know, when we live that way, when we say tomorrow, we live that way when we say, tomorrow I'll do that, tomorrow I'll forgive, tomorrow I'll be a better husband, tomorrow I'll show up for the calling God has on my life. But when will you realize that tomorrow's not promised? And if tomorrow's not promised, this next hour's not promised, this next minute's not promised. And the only thing we have, I want you to do me a favor, breathe, breathe, breathe. That's it. That's all you got. When will you realize that that is sentimental? Because some of you are fathers, some of you are leaders in an organization, some of you are brothers, and you've been putting off things you should have been putting on a long time ago. I begin to understand, as an athlete, when that gun goes off, you must exert all of your energy, all of your passion to make best of the use of the time that you have on that track. And here's the news flash for you. You are in a race. And some of you are still stuck in the starting blocks and the gun went off already. But if you are going to live a life of excellence, you got to be diligent.